Hey, True Believers, Englentine here. I was sent this article. In all honesty, I don't have an angle to this. Now, sometimes you read something, obviously the identity politics, and that's why it was sent to me, because that's my jam. I'm very much against identity politics. But I have no angle to approach this because, frankly, it looks like somebody's personal experience. It's called How Black Panther Helped Me Understand My Biracial Identity. I'm not biracial, and how you relate to a book is not how I relate to a book. So this sounds very, obviously, what can I say about it? I can't say, well, no, you didn't have those feelings. But anyway, I figured I would go over it, and I would read it, and let's see if there is anything to this. Now, one thing I will say, I am more of a believer of what Martin Luther King was saying. You got to look past the race. It's what's on the inside. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the point. So putting your entire identity in your race, which was something that you had nothing to do with, to me seems a little backwards. Be proud of your achievements, not proud of your accident of birth. So this is posted by Robert Reed on February. So this is a little bit older. Wow. Okay, on February 16th. Okay, it says, the first time I picked up Christopher Priest's Black Panther, an important question presented itself. Did I see myself in T'Challa as a biracial kid growing up in Nebraska? I didn't have a straightforward answer. Black, intelligent, strategic, powerful, and assertive, Black Panther represents what a shy and introvert, want to see in myself. When I was a 14-year-old flipping through comic pages, I saw him as a perfect leader, but I saw myself in another character, Everett K. Ross. Introduced in a brilliant splash page that opens Black Panther, Secretary Everett K. Ross is a white CIA agent who finds himself in over his head as a liaison to Black Panther. Awkward, cowardly, and far too concerned with how others see him, Ross is essentially my 14-year-old self. His missteps bite him from the very beginning. He famously arrives at the airport in a two-seater sports car only to discover that T'Challa has an entire entourage. He is way out of his depth. Even though he repeatedly makes endearing mistakes, T'Challa always trusts him and relies on him for support. If T'Challa cared about Ross, that meant he can care about me too. It's kind of the Jimmy Olsen factor. Jimmy Olsen was one of the reasons why he was created was kids can't be Superman. They can be Jimmy Olsen, though. Priest originally created Ross as a mouthpiece for the white readers that comprised a large portion of Marvel's fans. He voiced the skepticism those readers might have about Black Panther, a perennial background player with a few short-lived series to his name, being the genius warrior from Fantastic Four number 52. Well, he was an Avenger too, Bubba. Admittedly, many of Ross's questions reflected my own. Just who was this guy in the cat suit, and how did he so confidently navigate a world that resented him? Really? Did people resent Black Panther? I consider those questions about T'Challa because I needed them answered about myself. Nothing really objectable so far. You can cut Omaha, Nebraska's map like a steak. The further northeast you go, the blacker it gets. Southeast belongs to a Mexican population, and the west side of the city is a frontier of whiteness. A history of the big malls and shopping centers tells the story of white flight. White flight? Is there... Okay, if everybody's segregated, why is it white flight? If the Mexicans are going to the south, I don't know. Okay, that seems a little racist there, Bubba. Before high school, my life was in North Omaha, and I went to Sacred Heart Elementary, a private K-8 school with no more than 150 students at any time, most of whom were black. My peers were black. My friends were black. And though I identified as biracial... No, you didn't. Okay, I'm calling BS on this one because back then, nobody identified as anything. You were. You were black. You were white. You were male. You were female. You were gay. You were straight. Nobody said... Oh, well, I'd identify like that. No. Just because you didn't like tea parties doesn't mean you weren't a girl. Just because you were a tomboy, you didn't say, well, I'm not a girl. No, you were just a tomboy. If you didn't like Rambo movies and sports, it didn't mean you weren't a boy. It's just you didn't do that kind of stuff. That's all it meant. Nowadays, you guys are like, oh, well, I am not exactly that, therefore I have to have my... Oh, shut up. Nobody identified as anything. I was black too, and our blackness, he said, continues, I could be a comic nerd without being a black nerd. What's the difference? My moments of anger were simply rage, not black rage. Moments of joy were just that, nothing more. Got news for you, Chief. They still are. That changed in high school when I was recruited to Crichton Prep High School, like any place that recruits for diversity. Crichton Prep was very white. Though a few former classmates came with me, this was the first time in my life when the majority of people surrounding me were white. Suddenly, I felt vulnerable of my blackness. I couldn't shake the feeling that my identity was a weapon that could be used against me, even if it was just in my head. I had always escaped into comics, but now I retreated into media that better represented me. Now, that's what a lot of people do when they feel like they're an outsider, no matter, whatever it is that makes them feel like an outsider. In Black Panther, I found balance. I loved T'Challa right away, but I emphasized with Ross's struggle to navigate an entirely new world. Ross is capable of, but utterly unequipped for T'Challa and Wakanda. At Sacred Heart, I was one of the top students. At Crichton Prep, accomplishments made me average. At times, I was T'Challa, able to juggle tasks effortless. Have you noticed people struggle over the word effortlessly? And confidently. Other days, I was Ross sitting in the two-seater wondering how I was going to get through the day. Ross's doubts about T'Challa reinforced my own apprehensions of white people questioning my blackness, but it simultaneously provided the mirror I needed. In a world of black or white, I felt like everyone was trying to make me fit into one category, but I wanted people to recognize that I was both, and sometimes neither. My nerd, well, you were both, but never neither. My nerdiness, temper, and countless other attributes were not pieces of me that could be assigned to one racial category and consequently eradicated from my identity. The more I stressed about this, the further I dove into Black Panther, where Ross and T'Challa might offer some answers. Part of Ross's journey through Priest's Run is realizing that he's trying too hard. Whether he's trying to appease his boss or impress T'Challa, Ross is so concerned with others' perceptions of him that he often falls into self-parody. He constantly mocks his own whiteness in an attempt to integrate himself into his black new world. While I never went so far as to mock my ancestry, I knew too well the art of self-depreciation as a defense mechanism. Ross needed to loosen up, and so did I. I came to Black Panther seeking a reflection of my own blackness, but I grew attached to one of the few recurring white characters in the book. Ross was the audience's window to T'Challa's world, but he was my window into my own conflicting tensions. He illustrated that my anxieties and insecurities were only obstacles if I refused to accept them as part of who I am. I couldn't be T'Challa without being Everett Ross, too. Now, once again, I'm not biracial, so I can't speak to that particular experience. What it does sound like, however, is, yeah, this is somebody who put his identity into his race, or made his race his identity and couldn't see past that. And that's part of the problem. When you seek those things you have no control over, and that's what are you going to tell yourself? What are you going to be? You know who you are by your actions, by your words, by what do you love? That's you. The outside, like I said before, that was an accident of birth. That was just based on who your parents were, who your grandparents were, and so on. It just, that's my only takeaway from this. Otherwise, yeah, I'm sorry, gang. I can't tear this apart. Once again, this is a personal experience, and frankly, I think it's a pretty good story. This person read Black Panther and had this particular experience from it. Awesome. He found peace through comic books. He found awareness through comic books. That's awesome. Now, once again, like I said, I don't, the whole racial identity thing. Okay, I guess. But, yeah, I'm sorry if you guys expected me, when you sent this article, if you expect me to tear it apart, I can't. Because this is a very personal story, and you can't really speak against that. I actually had a couple of interactions with Crumble Point, who, by the way, I think everybody, you should be subscribed and watching his videos. He's brilliant, really good guy. Please, by all means, go check him out. But he posted this movie poster here. It's new Captain Marvel Dolby Cinema poster has been revealed. Everybody was talking about it. It looks like a It looks like a commie poster. Let's see what they say here. Ahead of a highly anticipated sneak peek of Captain Marvel later tonight. Yeah, that was that first look. You know what I got out of it? It's all right. It actually, I do like it a little bit better because it gave context to a lot of what we saw. But I'm still not excited to see the movie. And you know what else? Who the f is going to pay for that jukebox? There's a scene where she's like, "Can you prove you're not a Skrull?" And she fires and blows up a jukebox. That's not your freaking jukebox, lady. And he's like, "Well, okay, you know, thanks for destruction of property." You know, I don't know. That's actually what I got out of it. I was watching that, and I was pissed that she blew up a jukebox. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, this was the movie poster. And they said it was, the detractors are saying it's communist propaganda. I don't get that. I mean, I guess I see the colors and everything. I do think it's almost trying to be Rocketeer. It's kind of a silly poster anyway. That's not exactly the most flattering of costumes, you know, the one with her mohawk. But I do like the red and gold. I like that they're trying. This is definitely better than the Spider-Man poster. Wow, what a piece of crap that was. I collect superhero movie posters, but I truly only really want to collect the good ones. You know, I'm not going to go willy-nilly. So to me, like that Spider-Man poster, I haven't gotten it. Don't need to. Don't want to. If I were to get a Spider-Man Homecoming poster, it would be the one where he was laying down. This, however, yeah, I would get this one. I would prefer it to be her binary, or even just her without the face mask and the faux hawk, you know. But that's just me. As far as communist propaganda, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Oftentimes it's seen in her teal and navy suit. It's yeah, I do like the fact that they use the red and blue. Let's see. No, there's nothing really that they say about it. But yeah, I understand, you know, communist propaganda and all that kind of stuff. Oh, this is kind of cool. I like that from the 1990s. This little toy here. Hasbro latest Marvel. I just totally like dropped the Captain Marvel movie poster thing. I don't know. I don't see the communist propaganda thing. I know. I guess the red and gold. Yeah, it's got to be the coloring, because a lot of that is always red and gold. Dogpool and Squirrel Pool, as well as Professor X, and they're $40. Holy remember when action figures were affordable? Dang. I mean, that's a pretty cool Professor Xavier figure right here, but $40. Wow. Wow. I mean, $40, you could get a statue for $40. Wow. Marvel Studios is ready to talk about Adam McKay's Silver Surfer, the movie. Alrighty. Yeah, well, the deal has gone through. You know, so they've got the characters now. Let's see. Vice Director Adam McKay dreams of making Silver Surfer movie may actually come true, or at least Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige is ready to talk about it. Though Marvel Studios hasn't gotten access to the Silver Surfer's film rights yet, Norrin Radd will presumably be one of the hundreds of characters Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige said will come under the Marvel's purview with Disney's buyout of 20th Century Fox. Okay, I'm just going to reiterate what I said before. I hate the fact that they got Fox's characters now, because that means less comic book movies. He says, yay, we got 100 characters. You're not going to be putting out 100 movies a year on Marvel. You're not. So let's just get rid of the notion that we're going to be seeing all these movies. As a matter of fact, we're going to be seeing less. So no, I'm not one of the ones that are happy about this acquisition. I like superhero films. I love superhero films. And this means we're going to be seeing less of them. Let's see. Speaking on the red carpet at this weekend's Golden Globe Awards, Feige told MTV News that while McKay, did I say Mackie? McKay hasn't come to him about directing a Silver Surfer movie yet. McKay's love of the character is well known, and Marvel Studios even helped McKay secure an appearance from Marvel's Galactus. Wow, in Vice, of all things. That makes me want to see that movie more. Okay, he says, I haven't got a call, but I've seen Adam tonight and at a few of these events. And as everybody knows, he's not only an incredibly smart guy, but he's also honest and to goodness fan. Okay. Wow. It says he worked on the script for Ant-Man and was reportedly approached with an offer to work on Spider-Man. That sounds cool. I like his movies. I would love to see an Adam McKay Silver Surfer. I would like to see a Silver Surfer movie, but, you know, how does he fit into the Marvel Universe? Because right now, it's pretty tight, and he's not a diversity character. So, we'll see. We'll see. So, those are a few news stories I thought I'd touch upon. And what do you think? What do you think of the first article? I put my icon in there. I put my avatar so you wouldn't mix up his words with mine. I thought it was very important. The other ones, obviously, I was snarky. It's an article, so I figure it was easier to tell. That's why it didn't happen. Also, laziness. So what did you think of the videos in the comments? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, please click like, share, and get the word out about the channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and especially that notification bell, because ringing that bell is what YouTube really only cares about. Now, I do have a Patreon page, and if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over, drop $1 in the till. If you are against Patreon because of politics, today I will be setting up Ko-Fi, and I'll leave the description, or the link in the description below. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.